Okay, we've moved to the sun to get warm. So your partner is gone, and where were you living though? So when you separated, you had to move out of the house too?
Not yet. Not at that point. I was still in the house, and but it was on the verge where everyone was selling the houses. So you were scared anyway that you were going to be homeless, or I was anyway for a year at the time, and things just I feel like it's a whole, like everything just changed.
Yes.
The people got sick. Like you said, people were falling. People were dying.
Yeah.
My friend died. I'm not
Really?
sure if it's because of that, but anyway, the whole story did that. If you didn't have the friends to help you, or they would die, well, that's it for you. You would lose your home. If you're renting anyway, you
What did
you're
your
on the
friend
verge
die
of
of? Just cancer or something, or just died?
just old age and dementia. So unfortunately, I thought that I could stay in this home forever, but that didn't happen. And and from there, it's like I didn't know what was going to happen. You look for a home for so long, and then nothing happened. So at some point,
So basically, there was no houses, and when there was houses.
No. There was nothing for me, and I had a cat at the time. That was even worse, because if you had a pet, it was worse.
So if you had a cat or a dog, which is you think would be a natural right, you can't get it?
Oh, yeah, no, it was terrible. Anyone that would have a pet would tell you that a lot of pets have been rehomed or euthanized, basically, on COVID times when the whole crisis happened, and no one would find houses, and it was very sad. It still is. I think it's still present.
Yeah.
With the rental properties, and there's still no houses. Like after so many years, there's still no houses built. There's so much land. My family laughs back home. They think I'm joking, because they think it's such a big country with so much land. Why is there no house for people? You guys are not that many either.
Yeah, that's right. Can I ask, tell us through a day, like, so you were in a tent.
Yeah.
So if you're in a tent, how big a tent? Just like a little dorm tent?
It was a 4 people's tent, so it was enough for me to camp around.
So where were you camping? Where were you?
When I was camping, it wasn't camping all the time. I was at friends sometimes, ex-partner. I was just like moving around.
Couch surfing.
And
as you said before, you're there, but you feel like you shouldn't stay here too long.
No, because of course I feel like I'm a burden, right?
Yes.
I'm not. How come? Yes. So at that point, the family was calling back as well, so just come home, because we can help you here. We can't help you where you are. I was kind of determined to stay though, because I still loved Australia, and I had most of my life here now.
Yeah,
it's
of course.
15 years, so it's hard to say. Wow, you're leaving the country. You really are. That would be terrible.
You're leaving
to
the
go
lucky
home.
country.
Yeah, people are like, what's happening in Australia? But in saying that, it was the same pretty much all over the world. But
I'm just interested in where you camped, because there's other issues with camping.
Yes.
Is that there's going to the toilet.
Yes,
You need access to toilets. A lot of them close the toilets.
Mostly
in the
was
evening.
national parks and bush camping.
So it's national parks.
Or the showers. There's no showers. There's an ocean where you can wash yourself.
So you're swimming in the ocean.
Yeah. I'm not really saying that this was. I mean, I understand for some people it's tough, especially if you have a family, children, and you've got. But for me, at that moment, it wasn't. That wasn't I was really hurt and sad to have left my home and lost a lot of things.
Yes.
But
of course, all your stuff. Where you must have.
Had storage. There was a storage for me,
okay,
so I did pay for a storage, and with friends, things with friends as well. But for me, the homelessness part is more. Yeah, you feel abandoned, but it's not a tough life to camp. I don't think it's a tough life here in this country anyway. I felt safe. I felt okay. I knew that I had friends if I really needed to.
Yes.
But I do feel like a failure. I do feel like I failed something. And
what do you think you failed? You don't think the country failed you?
Well, yeah, but I feel that.
So there's a shame with being homeless.
There is a shame, of course. Yeah. It's like I'm supposed to be succeeding here and be good and be better than when I come from.
And I'm in a tent in the bush.
Yeah. So that's the difficult part. And then there were some prayers, and the
Tell us
came.
about the house. The house prayer is the beautiful story.
Yeah,
so
it
you're
is quite
walking
beautiful.
and you saw this house.
I was quite desperate at that moment.
Why were you desperate?
I wasn't really looking anymore for a home, but I had previous contacts before, so They just had to call me back, but no one ever would ever call me back. And I was walking on the river, the Preston River, which I love. It's a beautiful place. I walk there all the time. And saw this little home in the evening that felt so cozy with the lights on.
And you were looking at this going, you're outside like the little match girl.
Yes.
Like that fairy tale.
Yeah.
You're outside looking at this warm
Yes.
house going, I would love that.
I'm desperate and I'm looking and I'm sad and I'm like, please God, just can I have a little home like this?
And you really
with
prayed? It
people?
wasn't just a whim? It was,
It was
like a real
prayer. It was something different that day. Yeah, and I was surrendering to the outcomes. Like, okay, I'm just going to
So you'd reached the end.
let go. Let
Yeah.
go of what I had. Let go of the anger. Let go of not forgetting.
Yeah, I understand.
Not forgetting, but let go of all of this and see what can come up to the future. I'm here. I'm free, and I have my integrity. I said no to whatever I wanted to say no to.
Yep.
So I feel good about that. Feel good with myself. And the next day I did have a phone call and someone called saying, hey, the guy just left. If you want, you can have the little cottage here.
It was the same house you were looking at?
No, it wasn't that house.
Oh, it wasn't, no, but someone actually
not far.
But so the next day someone called
Someone
you and offered
called,
you a
yeah.
house.
So
How did you feel?
I cried. It was I felt it just was meant to be. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is on now.
Did you feel you were listened to? You felt like the angels had gone,
Of course,
okay.
yes, I did. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I did feel it. It just felt natural.
Yeah.
And I had to go to that point
Yeah,
of desperation
yeah,
to receive,
Yeah.
I think. And also, I'm not saying it's a reward but like you said before as well, you just stay true to yourself and what you want and what you don't want. And if it's a clear no one can make you do what you don't want. So
Yeah.
whatever the outcome is, I will have to accept it in a way. But of course, I want to live, like you said
Yeah,
before as well. I
yeah.
love those words because I think I want to have this life and I want to live
You're
it.
young.
And no one has the why we will have the right to be here.
Yeah.
And we humans, and this is the earth. I feel like we really need to be humans.
Yep.
And have humanity. And that's what is getting lost. And with everything that's happening and these things, and we need to get together for this humanity to stay on. And if it's going against the current, then it's going against the current. If everything is going fast because it's told to be fast and the technology and everything is fast, well, I want to do slow things to be able to connect and be human and stay human until I die.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing for me anyway. And I
So
wish
you're
to
not
share
interested
that.
in having a chip put in your head or anything like this
No.
by Bill Gates?
No.
Doesn't interest you?
No.
Or eating insects?
No. I had a few dreams, 2 vivid dreams like that, where I've seen these things happening.
Wow.
I've seen these pills given to people that were lining up, and they were profound dreams, vivid dreams where, so anything can happen, but anything can happen.
How's life
So-
now? You've got this business here. We'll take a photo of that in a sec for the thing. So tell us what you're doing with this.
Life, it's not the easiest. It's
No.
not. It's a bit of a struggle financially. It's a bit of a struggle paying the bills, the rents, everything is going up. And I've been offered many times to work here, to work there, to work at the mines, and I don't want to because I want to keep that freedom, which is more important than anything. But it's always keeping the head above the water. At the same time, I'd rather choose this than I know that if I would just say, I'm gonna work a few months and I will do this, because I know that I will betray myself so much and disrespect the land, disrespect God, disrespect the owner of the custodian of this land.
Yeah.
And I I don't want to do that. So I'd rather go back in the tent. If that happens, that happens. I don't want it to happen. I still have fear. I still have fear that it can happen. But my integrity is stronger than that. So I won't do it. So I'll keep doing what I do until I can. Until I don't know. If I'm stopped, I'm stopped. But hopefully not. I'm hopeful. I'm positive that this and the gatherings and people and community, we are together. We have the power. Someone's got water. Someone's got a land. Someone's got the land to grow the food. So,
well, what was the lesson you were taught as a young girl from your country?
Yeah, the union.
The people have the power.
People have the power.
Maybe that's what we have to relearn.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You are there.
I am there.
Yeah,
I am there. I've been there, and yeah.
When I met Jesus Christ, he was almost 10 years old, and he was helping his mother push a trolley full of all they owned. And because they couldn't find an inn they could get in, they were heading to the city and leaving Bethlehem. Couldn't you perform a miracle? I'm out of them, he said. I tried turning nothing into warmth, but it just made my mother cry. It just made my mother cry.
Again.
Talk again, yeah.
Well, we'll start again
Yep.
from Belgium. Tell us
Yeah.
about your father in Belgium and how you grew up.
So, yeah, my dad. Well, not just my dad. I think it was a
What was
whole
his
village.
name? Just his first name.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
So I'm from Italian migrant background. So
Okay.
my dad came when he was a kid in Belgium. My mum as well. So
Is this from the
basically,
war?
I am Italian. But yeah, well, that was in the 60s when Italy was starving. Basically, the south of Italy was in a really bad shape after the wars. Yes, the country was never good again. So a lot of Italians, that's why there's so many Italians all over the world, because Italians had to spread out to find work and to survive. So some of them went to Belgium because
There's
they
a
were
lot of
called in the
Italians
coal
here
mine. Yes,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. In where I live, in Donnybrook, there's lots of them, and they basically that's how the Italians did. They went all over the world when the workers were called. This was coal mine mostly, and metallurgy. So my family, my grandfathers, and they worked hard, and a lot of them died because of lung.
Yeah, black lung, coal dust.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when my dad came from Italy to Belgium, and then I was born in Belgium. And there was a big thing when I was in my 15 years old, about 15, with my friends. We were all in the streets for about a year because our dads were taking out of school to get in the streets to fight against the government.
And what were you
and the
actually
system.
Finding? Were they closing the coal mines, or what were they doing?
Oh, that wasn't. It was in the metallurgy. They were closing down, yes, to bring the workers. Everything was shut down to China, basically. So.
So globalization, basically.
Yes, that's when it started, and that was in 1990 something. That was already the start of everything, and
it was happening in the UK with Thatcher.
Yeah, totally. So it was a difficult time. All our fathers there, they were all the villages around us. We were living off this big company.
Yeah.
So it was tough. So I'm used to that. I mean, I'm used to that. I've seen this before. I've lived this before at a young age.
Was there violence against the protesters?
There would be some violence, of course. Yes.
So you saw that as a young person?
Yes. Yeah. I saw. We're not going to say my dad, but I've seen all the groups of people that were running all these marches. Breaking banks and things, and there was a lot of violence yet because it became so. It was peaceful at first, but then it became violent. Yes, it did. Some people went to prison, and because they were really taking the jobs and
Yeah.
away from people.
And they'd
you know?
already
Yeah.
escaped that. They'd already escaped the poverty of no jobs, come here.
Exactly.
And now it was been taken away again.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and they sacrificed a lot. Even their dad's health. You know, the grandfathers, they all died.
Yeah.
So you know, there's this non-trust.
And also, I think there's culture, isn't there,
certain
with the coal mines?
capitalism.
There was culture. There was.
Yeah.
It was more than just. It wasn't like a McDonald's or a Uber Eats job. This was
Yeah.
traditional jobs, really.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. There was strong culture. The people were together a lot, and you know, Belgium has this. I don't know. The anthem of Belgium is "L'union fait la force," which means the union is strength.
Oh.
So union, so between people,
Yeah.
which is very strong. So I think it's always stayed with me, where I thought, okay,
Yeah.
people have the power, and I was taught that at a very young age. And if I had to be taken out of school to go in the streets I would. Yeah, I did.
So from a
And
young
I'm proud
age-
of it, to be honest.
Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, but from a young
Yeah.
age, you were told people have the power.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the title.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to see that journey.
Okay.
So how did you
Yeah.
how did you end up coming to Australia?
I traveled. I came when I was 25, 26. I just wanted to travel and leave a bit my home, and I came here, and I just discovered this beautiful country. Worked here and there. I didn't have any intention to stay at first. I loved it, but the
What
more
did
I
you love
stayed-
about it?
I really loved, when I decided I wanted to be here for longer was when I came here in this region, and I met the farmers, the people in the country.
Yeah.
I met this beautiful friend, and then I really had a big love for the mateship. There was this word that came. I didn't even know the word mate before coming to Australia.
Yeah.
And then the mateship, and we would have trouble in the car, being travelers or foreigners or whatever. We would have someone to help us. That's not happening where I come from. People are scared of each other back home. You rarely help someone that's left on the street.
Yeah.
So this was for us was like, wow, Australians, they're so kind and they're helpful. And everyone seems to be together and helping. And if you're in trouble, you know that you're safe. You have
Beautiful.
that. So I love that. So I felt home. I felt like I wanted to be here for a while. And do the same, and then feel like, okay, we've been helped. We've been loved and helped. Same when we worked really hard for our visa, the farmers helped us. They were giving us houses to be able to pay for all these things that the system was asking us to pay.
Wow, so the farmers were actually helping.
Yeah, we had help from farmers that said, you guys are good characters. We need people like you here in this country.
Wow.
That's the word I had from people. No,
So you
I'm
felt
not inventing
welcome.
it. I felt very welcome, yes.
More than you did in your own country.
Well, that's the thing, because I've always felt like a foreigner as well in Belgium, coming from an Italian background and Italian strong culture, Italian culture.
It.
So for me, Australian was like the dream because of its nature. First of all, I absolutely love the space and the nature. I fell in love with that mostly, and then like I said, being in the country and seeing this friendship, this mateship, I just fell in love with that.
Wow.
Really. The atmosphere of the pub where you go, and it was beautiful. It felt really light and beautiful. And then I have to say that the years went and everything was fine until 2020. 2020 was like a big shock. Because,
what happened in 2020?
Well, when we, when
COVID. What am I talking about?
When I started to be a bit outcasted because I didn't want to do something I didn't want to do, and all of a sudden I felt like this is weird, but still found, like I said before, the community still went out there and think, okay, I'm a crazy weirdo and I'm not doing this. Maybe I should go back home. That was sorry.
What were you doing for work?
I was in the Margaret River, and I was everything was shut down there. So we're in hospitality at the time, and I was running events, community events.
Event coordinator.
I was. My job was in sales and marketing, but then on the side I had a multicultural group, so I was running events.
Yeah.
And I was, I had a bit of grants and help to run events. So there was a bit of a share of like, what's going on here? What do I do? And even when just before the vaccination campaign started, They were coming, so the people from the government were coming down to the regions to talk to leaders and people. So I was invited to go because I had a bit of an influence on the certain communities. We were on a table asked to basically. It wasn't about, they said it's about information. We don't want people to have the wrong information. So you are kind of responsible to give the right information.
So they wanted you to be the drug pusher.
Yeah. And I was like, sorry, you got the wrong person because I'm never going to do that. People, for me, have to be free to choose whatever they want from themselves. And that's not going to change.
What did they say to that?
They couldn't do anything. I mean, it just came, the engagement teams, they come to talk to leaders and they're just trying to, to get the word out there.
Yeah.
And then you say what you think. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong by just saying what I think, right?
100%.
I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong by just telling people that they are free to do whatever they want.
Well, in our world, you're doing nothing wrong, but in this new world, you are. In the new world, compliance is that's the world they're trying to get us to be a part of.
Yeah.
Where compliance is integrity. Yeah.
Well, I still want to believe in people.
Yeah, I'm not saying people.
Yeah,
I'm saying
know.
the system.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Yes.
So what happened?
are the
So you
people.
lost that job because of all that?
So I didn't go back to that job. I was happy where I was, working on the land and happy to grow my food. And I didn't go back to the job. But at the time, I was starting to to run a business to organize events and big events. And the news came out, so I signed a contract with a certain company to run an event. And the government decided to said that, well, if people are not vaccinated, they can't come to the event, and if they do, they have to show their ID. So I didn't have to have the vaccine as an entrepreneur.
So as an entrepreneur, you didn't have to take it. You just but you had to push it.
But I had to, basically, anyone I was working with or working for me or coming to the events would have to show that they had the vaccination.
Yeah. So you were free not to, but anyone who worked with you had to comply.
So for me, the decision was, I'm not taking the job. I can't. There's enough. That's even worse than putting it into myself, is to tell people to do something.
Yeah.
And recently there was this joke, this guy that said, before I was taking vaccines, and now all of a sudden I was told that I could get a vaccine on a parking lot. And that's where I started to be a bit wondering why is this happening, and it's like that. So for me, it was clear from the start that I wasn't gonna take it. And my ex-partner at the time, like I said before, he lost the job as well. He was a gardener, and people didn't want him on the property either for not taking it. So there was this fear around it, a lot of fear.
So suddenly all that mateship that you loved about the country here, all that was gone.
Yeah, at that time, it was the first time in my life, the whole life that I've been here, 18 years, that I thought, I don't think I want to stay here, I want to go home. Plus the borders were closed.
Yeah.
So I couldn't travel back, and if you were vaccinated, you couldn't even travel again after everyone else's.
Yeah.
Then they lifted it up, so you could go back to Europe. For me, home was just a plane away before, and when they closed the borders, it was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You didn't know if it was going to stay like this forever. So I felt the separation really hard. Yes.
Yeah. So
all
you're
of a sudden
trapped
there was no freedom.
Yeah. It was insane.
It was tough. I have developed some anxiety from this.
I bet you have.
And still
today. And then your relationship broke up within that. Just to make it tougher, even harder.
Yeah, there was, because at the time, now this is personal stuff, but at the time we didn't want to live together. We were together for not long, and we didn't think we were going to live together.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden we had to, because there's no houses, there was no, and we had to survive. So we went and lived, so of course it impacted the relationship, because we were not ready for that. We didn't want that, but we did anyway. And we lived in a place where my ex-partner probably didn't want to be. He wanted to be near the ocean. So of course it has impacted the relationship. And now I think I don't feel bad because I feel free, but I feel disappointed. I feel really sad, because still today it's like there haven't been any apologies. I spent all my savings. I still struggle today.
Yeah. And then,
and it's like,
can I just get,
yeah.
because we're going to get to the point where you're in your car and homeless, but basically it was a question of losing,
Yes, there was
until
a lot of
eventually
loss, yeah.
all that's left
Yeah.
is living in your car and a tent
yeah.
in the lucky country.
Mary Magdalene has become a man, and tonight he's old, and she has been riding my tram. Now it's late and she's trying to sleep beneath a poster for a bank. Your dreams are important to us as it bathes her face in gold. Come give us your natural gifts, we make wealth from toil. Come pretend for history's page that we're advancing Australia fair. Let's pretend that we're all advancing Australia fair. Back down the road I found the church we built on the black man's bones was empty, and out the front a sign read all but sold. A sign read all but sold. And we all owe so much money, but to whom we're not quite sure. So hey